Welcome friends, it's Anvesh Rath here, your trainer in this venture that's very important for your life. We call it a Rapid Success Blast. Well, just to make sure that you know who you're listening to, I'm just a regular guy from India, aged about 25 years, and I do full-time internet marketing. Well, that means that I make a living online. Now, let's get to the point real quick. Friends, I've noticed that there's a lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of wanting, a lot of zeal in people to succeed online. In fact, most people I personally meet online or offline have even tried to do something on their own, but unfortunately gave up at one point or another. Well, the reason? The reason is the hidden barrier right in our own subconscious. The funny thing that I noticed is that some of them actually succeeded online or offline, made a little bit of money, and then went back to where they started from. See, it's like some sort of subconscious barrier that's keeping people away from attaining what they really want and really deserve. This is what made me create this course based on my personal experience and whatever I've learned from my life. Alright, see, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a guru or any kind. So why should you even listen to what I'm about to say? Well, the first reason, which I think is, you should listen to me because you've already invested in this course, right? I mean, come on. Well, that's exactly not the reason. I was just kidding. See, you need to listen to me because I'm an average guy. Right? I'm an average guy. I was an average guy, and you know what? I will be an average guy. I have relatively poor command in this language that is English, and I'm creating a video series in this. So I've already retired at the age of 25 to make a full-time income right from within my home, breaking all sorts of barriers that I first thought would never allow me to succeed in my life. Well, it's not about that. And I mentioned that I have relatively poor command in English because this was a fear in me. And since you're watching this video, you already know that I pretty much overcame that barrier, that fear which was inside me, and I just break free. Okay, now here's something I want to tell you guys. This course is not about making money online. Alright, I'm not going to teach you how to make money by doing blogging or doing SEO and other stuff like that. No, this is not a money making course. It's not about focusing towards a particular niche or industry. I'm not going to tell you that a weight loss industry is better than dog food industry and stuff like that. No, we're not going to talk about that at all. Alright, and it's not about me. It's not at all about me, it's all about you and your fear. And yes, of course, I will mention certain things about myself just as reference because I went through a lot already and I'm ready to share everything, and I want you guys to take this whole thing in a very positive way. Alright? So please don't expect a how-to video or anything of that sort, because this is not a how-to video course where I would record my screen and I will show you how to build a website or how to build a squeeze page and stuff like that. Though I have included loads of resources right in this back which would help you do everything you want to do online. But like I said, the main focus over here is you, your fears, and how you can train yourself, your subconscious, to actually overcome all those barriers. Now, this is not a cleverly presented sales pitch where I would try to sell you something. Please guys, it's not something like the usual webinars and video courses where by end of the course I will tell you that if you want to do this, you gotta buy this for $997. No, it's nothing of that sort. Okay? This is just a video course which you will relish. You have to spend some time, see the whole series. I would really recommend that you see each and every video at a stretch. Grab a cup of coffee, grab your favorite drink or something, sit down, listen to the whole thing. It's not a hypnotic course or anything of that sort, alright? But flow is very important, alright? So it would be great if you could just listen or watch this whole video, the entire video in one go. That would really benefit you. That's something which I can tell you right now. Okay, now here's the deal. And let me tell you what the first three barriers of my life were. First thing, it was my family, all right, my family background. Well, they all wanted me to be an employee and not an employer. And this is not something very unique. I mean, I'm pretty sure you all have seen this, because this is what we're taught since our childhood. You know, we go to school, we're told to get some degree. We're always taught to be or to join some company which is already established and work to make someone else rich, right? So obviously the first barrier was my family background, and this is like I said, a very common scenario in most middle income group family. The second fact is that most successful internet marketers are in the western part of the world. Now this was a really stupid kind of thought which I had, but I can't, but I cannot help that, because this is something which really stopped me for a very long time, right? I mean, I used to think that I would not, if I start making money online, or if I want to do something on a global scale, then how will I be a good fit in that society, or how would I interact with people overseas, and how can I just go and meet them, because I know that all rich marketers or all successful people meet at seminars and some kind of house parties where they share their ideas and stuff like that. So that was another fear or a barrier which was stopping me for a pretty long time. That was one thing. And the second thing, or rather the third thing, is that I had no clue about internet marketing, right? I had no freaking clue about what internet marketing is. In fact, you know what? I had no clue about what marketing is. The normal offline marketing or any sort of marketing. I had no clue how to sell things. And that's the whole thing. Because I don't hold some sort of business school degree like many of my friends flaunt so proudly, and I'm also proud of them. But just to tell you guys that I don't hold some kind of master's in the business or any kind of marketing. But yes, I can tell very proudly right now that I am a successful internet marketer who's making living online by actually selling things. And this is something which you'll need to learn. Many people say that you don't have to sell anything and you can still be rich, you can still be successful. Let me tell you one thing. We sell ourselves every minute that passes in our life. For example, if you're trying to convince someone to do something for you, or if you're trying to convince your spouse to do something for you, or if you're just telling your kids to listen to what you say, you know what, you're actually selling yourself. Selling is nothing, selling is not always selling did not really involve money and material all the time. Selling yourself or selling your talent or selling your ideas, they are all selling. I mean, even if you're giving something for free to someone, you actually have to tell them what the free thing is or what the free gift is, and you need to convince them that the free thing which you're giving is actually worth it, or else who would just take anything for free if it's not going to benefit them. So like you see, selling is an inevitable part of our life, and we need to accept that. I mean, this was something which I never knew, and I always thought that marketing is selling. You need to go, like when you hear the word selling, the first thing that flashes in our mind, at least in my mind, is like some kind of pushy salesman who's trying to sell something to meet his targets, right? And this is a very common picture. When you say sales, when you say marketing, this is the first thing which comes into mind, right? But that is not the truth. Selling is not just material or money. Selling yourself or selling your idea or selling your thoughts or your notions, everything is marketing, and it's better that you understand this as quickly as possible, and as soon as you do that, you will be better off. Okay, so here's what happened. When I told my friends and my fellow marketers about the course, this particular course which I've designed, they were very excited. They suggested that I do the whole thing in a very professional manner in a studio by hiring voiceover artists and actors, and I decided to stay back at home. And I decided to record this right from my bedroom. That's basically like my small home office. See, I don't want to prove that I make a living online, or in fact a pretty good living online, by showing pictures of flashy cars and houses that I own. See, I could have done that if I wanted to, but like I said, I preferred staying back at my home and give this entire course a personal touch, so that you can feel that you're actually listening to someone by sitting in front of them. Okay? Now, here's what I did before I started to create this course for you. I sat down and I thought that what I was 3 years ago and what I am right now. Then I thought about what stopped me from being an internet marketing success for about 2 long years. Now, I honestly thought that these hindrances and the failure is all peripheral, is all at the surface level, and is created by the society and my family and stuff like that. But man, I was wrong. I really was wrong. See, I was more than surprised to figure out it was me who was stopping me from doing all these things. And I was really surprised when I saw something going on in my own company where I used to work. Let me first tell you that some of my colleagues were kicked out, and that kind of changed the way I looked at things. And let me tell you what exactly happened and what I was doing. See, I was working for an organization where I used to earn about 6% of what I generated for them. And I was happy. I was really very happy because I was generating a good amount of money. I was in a corporate job. I used to go in the morning, do my work, come back at home, work for 14 hours a day, and all sort of things. But one day, 7 of my friends and colleagues were kicked out. Literally kicked out of the company just because the company thought that they were liabilities. And trust me on this, my friends, when I say that 3 of those 7 people were actually way more productive than I was. But you know what the fault was? They were 15 years older than me. And heck, they needed this job more than I did. I mean, they were experienced. They were serving this company for over 7, one of the guys was actually serving this company for over 7 years. 2 of them were serving this company since past 4 and 5 years, I guess. So, I mean, this is the game. And people say that working for someone else in the corporate world is a secure job. That was a real job. So it's not like I'm a school or college dropout who's just start making money online. Like there are many internet marketers right now who claim that they do so. I'm not one of them. All right, I was a very conventional man. I did my degree. I went to school. I got my degree. I'm technically sound because I'm an engineer. So I went ahead. I joined a company where I used to work, and things were fine. I mean, it's at least it seemed that everything was fine at the surface level. Okay, but this is what happened. Now, I didn't play God by offering them my job. 7 of my friends who were kicked out. No, I didn't play God by offering them a job to help them, because I mean, I cared more about myself, my my mom, my dad, right? I'm not married yet, but still, I have a family, right? Yes, and I was worried about that salary. Yeah, the same 6% of the generated profit salary I was talking about. See, but I'm so proud now that I actually helped them. Unfortunately, not when they exactly needed my help the most, but still, I'm glad that I was able to help them out. Right. So anyways, I mean that's done. So this is what changed the way I look at life. Okay. Now all these videos in this series are actually very short. So I wanted to include this right away, right here, because I understand, or I realize that this is kind of getting a little long, and probably many of you might be thinking it's kind of boring. But let me tell you one thing, guys, and this is the reason why I said that what you will not find in this course. See, this is not a jazzed up or a course with all kind of frills and ribbons where you will see my screen and I'm doing great things, and I'm opening my ClickBank account. I'm showing you that boom, I'm clicking on this button and I'm earning like whatever $10,000 in a day and stuff like that. No, it's not about making money online. This is even deeper. I mean, why would you make money? You want to make money because you want peace of mind. You want to make money because you want to be with your family. You want to make money because you want to spend the money with your family. That's the whole point, right? So, and I'm talking about the barriers, the barriers which are right in your own subconscious, which are actually stopping you to do all these things. And the problem here is that you're not able to realize that, and that is the reason why I'm using this word subconscious all the time, because subconscious is what makes you or breaks you. Okay, so that is it. And like I said, I'm not going to sell anything or anything of that sort. So let's really get started with what we're going to talk over here. Okay, so let's start with the pretty natural hindrance that I'm sure you will be able to connect with right away. Okay, so here is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the fear of having no money, or even worse, losing out on the money you already have. Right, see, guys, we are taught to make money for other people. Right, this is very typical middle income mindset, right? And I would not say it's your fault, because that's exactly what happens. See, the fear of having no money is really a dreadful fear, but losing money or a job is even worse, right? So a lot of people from a lower income or middle income class family like me are always taught to go to school, get a degree, get a job, which I did, and make money from someone else, which I did, only to get paid a measly fraction of what you actually produce for them, which I got. Okay, now this can be a local company, this could be a multi-billion ISO company, it could be some sort of organization, or even government. So now I want to make something very clear right away, that I have no intentions to hurt anybody's feelings or make anyone feel like a failure or a work. I know many people just claim that, but at the back end, it's always in their mind to make you feel, make you feel inferior, so that you would buy something from them. And this is a very common strategy. I mean, I do copywriting myself. I'm going to confess this, that yes, when I write sales copy to sell something, I do that. I sell on people's dream. I sell on their fear. I tell, for example, if I'm selling something about blogging, all right, over the internet, obviously I will go ahead and I will give you the problem. I will try to connect with you. Right, then I will tell you that what you're doing and what you should not be doing, and what I'm doing and what's making me money, and then I will make you feel inferior. I will make myself feel superior, so that when you come down and when I play the call to action, you buy something from me. And this is a universal truth. I mean, you either you hate this or you love this, but you cannot ignore this. This is how the thing rolls, right? But not in this course. No. I have no intentions to make you feel inferior. In fact, I think you might be even superior to me or anyone else for that matter. Here we're going to discuss about the subconscious things, and I'm so confident that this course is gonna benefit each and every one who's actually watching this video and has invested in this course, because your conscious mind might think that everything is working great in your life, but your subconscious might not be the same. I mean, that is the whole point here, right? This is the reason we are talking about subconscious. Cool. All right, so I'm going to talk about this guy, or I'm just going to talk about a line about this guy named Robert Kiyosaki, who tells about the mindset of a middle-income group family in his book. The book's called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I have no affiliation whatsoever with this kind of book, with this particular book, but yes, I've read that book. It's a pretty neat thing, so I would suggest you go Google and find the book. The name again is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, now let's start to train our subconscious. Okay, what is subconscious mind? Great question, right? Well, let me tell you first. The subconscious has no definite definition. I mean, you can go and search in dictionary, you will find something, right? But what it really means is the sense and notions you got in your mind and actively never shows up. This is something which never actively shows up. There's a reason it's subconscious. See, it never shows up in your conversations or reaction. This is such a powerful element that controls your life and you never seem to even know about it. For example, a day job. You know, the day job is something which a family wants you to do. And the shocking fact and the stats are that 79%, alright, 79% of people don't want to work for others. But they still do it. They still do it continuously all their life. You know why? Because it's the subconscious which is controlling it. Okay, so okay, tell me one thing. How many times have you felt or said to yourself that the day I start earning money, or more money than my boss, or the day I start earning a living by doing something on my own, I will kick my boss and I will just walk away from my office or my site or wherever you work. Now, have you thought that how will you achieve that goal? If you're not living your job, if you're not trying to actually build something up yourself, how are you going to achieve that dream? You think that really by working for like 12 or 14 hours in at a day job, when you come back to your home, you start trying to do something yourself with the fear in your mind about what's going to happen tomorrow in your day job. Do you really think you'll be able to make this thing happen? See, I'm not advocating living your job or anything of that sort. All I'm trying to tell you over here is you need to understand what you want. That is very important, and that will give you the strength to do whatever you want to do. I mean, when I started out, I used to work for 14 hours, I said, right? But I just got to know, I got to realize that I'm not going to do this my entire life, and that's what changed my life. So what I did, well, I spent more time. I almost got insomniac. I mean, I worked late at night. I used to sleep for 2 to 3 hours, but I was happy because every single minute I was spending on building my business, I knew that I am moving towards the freedom I want. Okay, so I was not fighting with my subconscious anymore. I was letting my subconscious do whatever it needs to do because I know that it was doing good for me. Okay, so this is one thing. The thing is, the subconscious has been hard-coded in your mind. Now, when I say hard-coded, it means that your subconscious is something which builds up automatically in the back end, right? And it totally depends upon what you see, what you've learned in your life, what's going around you, or what you're going through, and many of the things like that. Okay, now this is very classic example of subconscious mind, because if I ask you up front that do you like your job, you'd probably say yes, despite of having all that I just mentioned above about a day job and about not pursuing what you really want to do. Despite of having all this in your subconscious mind, you will still say that you like your day job. Well, it's not your fault because, like I said, it's hard-coded. See, we are taught to slave to save. Yes, it's slaving to saving. And do you know that this mentality actually makes you go broke in this process? I mean, do you really think saving money and not investing that money on something you really want to do or you really want to pursue is gonna make your future secure? Well, I don't really think so. Really, I don't think so, because see, people fear to even give a try to their dream because they think that if they lose, what would happen? Okay, and let me tell you something about this accepted failure. If you lose your job today, you will just tell yourself that, alright, 10 others were also kicked out of the job, so probably that was my fate, and probably I should just go and try in another company or something, something like that. And this is what an accepted failure is. Okay, well, I know this. I know this because I've been through that, right? When I used to work a job for someone else, I mean, everything every negative thing that used to happen with me or people around myself, I used to just accept that as if, that's the part of the big picture. I mean, this is a very good thing in one way because I was being optimistic, but in a wrong industry. I was being optimistic in a wrong direction altogether. I was accepting that failure, and I was not working on actually getting rid of that situation, or of that. I was not ready to just get out. I was not ready to just break free. That was the whole thing. And this is what a layer of accepted failure is all about. All right. Let me tell you. When you say that everything is fine with job, you are lying. You're lying to yourself. So you need to take control of your life. All right. It's really very important. You need to actually understand what your life is and what you need to do. See, you got to be brave because it's not fun at all. Have you heard about job terminators? These are the people who actually just walk in and they tell you that you're not in this company anymore. Okay, now this is how the whole thing is. All right. See, when you are saving money, when you think you're saving money, right? What happens when the value of dollar or whatever the currency of your country is drops? And it's not hypothetical. It really happened, right? I mean, like 1 or 2 years ago when recession hit the entire world, the value of money dropped. The people who were saving money, were they able to do anything with the money they saved? No, because the cost of living increased, the buying power decreased, and a lot of different things. I mean, this is the whole scenario what happened. And people who actually invested in what they wanted to do in their life are really happy because they got that peace of mind that they were actually investing on something which they loved, and they were enjoying each and every bit of what they were doing all the time. So there's no looking back for those people. And people who were slaving day in and day out to save money for a better future were all frustrated because when they looked back, they found they just slaved to save this money, which they're not even able to spend right now anymore for that kind of luxury, which they always could have afforded, but they never did because they wanted to save it. They want to save, and I'm not advocating on not saving money or anything of that. So all I'm saying is, you need to take control of the situation in your own hand and go ahead and just play with them. And job terminators, they're nothing but the people who are just gonna hand you a measly check, which actually has been given to them by your company, and they're gonna just come to you and they're gonna say, sorry, but we don't have the position that you're on right now, and it's not available anymore, and you can leave your cabin now with this compensation. People fear to even give a try to their own dreams because they think it takes a huge amount of courage. You know what? The amount of courage and hard work it takes for you to succeed is the exact amount, all right, is the exact same amount that it takes to go broke. This is, I don't know, I mean, this could be something which you have never ever heard from anyone, but anyway, this is a truth. Okay, so it's so depressing, all right, because people fear to even give it a try to their dreams because they think that, hey, I'm making it barely anyways right now, so what if I lose the $100? Wow, I mean, it's my rent or maybe 1 month's grocery or something like that. See, how do I know this? Well, I know this because I have been there myself. It's so depressing, because we're taught to go broke and never even have the courage to pursue our dreams. But the shocking fact here is that we can just deal with it like we deal with any other thing in our life. All right. Now, when I said that it takes the exact amount of courage and hard work what it takes for you to succeed, and that is the exact amount of energy and the hard work it actually takes you to go broke, that is true. It's just simple and plain mind game. People would do 2 to 3 jobs at the same time, working their bums off, and at the same time they will still be struggling to meet the needs and pay bills, and working so hard and making rich people even richer just because they don't have confidence in themselves. All right, think about this for a second. All right, why would someone pay you if they are not making any money from your work? Have you ever thought of that? See, because this is the truth. This is the truth about working for someone else. Okay, and if you think that you are not good enough to earn money on your by yourself, then why do you think, or why do you even expect someone else to hire you to get their job done by paying you? So the thing is, if you are getting paid by a boss to do something for him, then you could do the same thing for your boss's client directly. This is a very, I mean, this might sound very simple, and many of you might be maybe frowning at me, saying that, hey, this is very easy to say, but that never happens, all right? Because if I'm working for a multi-billion-dollar company, then they have some all kind of setup, they have all kind of resources, they have all kind of clients. Now, from where the heck I'm gonna get the same clients, and how I'm gonna get the things? See, here is where the courage comes into the picture. If you believe in yourself, you can do it. All right, it's not just about preaching, because I'm a living example of that. Okay, so I left a corporate job, and I'm now making full-time income right from within my home. And like I said at the very beginning, I had no prior experience about marketing or anything of that sort, but I simply believe in myself, and I'm here where I am right now. Okay, now you can actually leverage what you do already, because like I said, if you're working for someone else to make them richer, then you can work for yourself to make yourself richer as well. Okay, now, like we already discussed about where the hell is the money, I mean, where exactly are you even going to start doing your own business or anything of that sort? Well, we will actually talk about this. It's not that difficult, because there are a lot of different things nowadays. You don't really have to spend money if you don't have any at this point of time. You just have to invest time till you have money. Okay, you just have to leverage on time. There are latest advertising methods, and they are free and easy. All right, might sound very common or very cliche, but yes, free advertising methods like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, they work. Okay, they work because, see, you don't need 1,000 people in your list, or you don't need 100 million 100 million clients like your present company has got, because your company has to feed 500,000 employees, but you just have to feed yourself and your family. So don't look at things in the negative way, all right? Because you just need few people, all right, as your clients, because you can serve them directly and charge them half of what anyone else charges. Because there are a lot of different things. There's like setup costs, and the taxes, and many of the things which actually, and obviously if your boss is paying you like 1,000 or $1,000 for a job, then your client is actually paying 3,000 to your boss, and this is the reason the boss is taking the 2,000 and giving you 1,000. So if you get in touch with that particular client, tell them that, hey, you know what, you don't have to spend the 3,000 bucks, because I know what I'm doing. So I can do that, and this is not undercutting it's not being dishonest, or it's not breaking the trust of your boss or your company or anything of that sort. See, all I'm trying to say here is that you have to believe in yourself, and you can start something on your own on a small scale, relatively smaller scale, and you can still succeed, and that will give you a peace of mind. Right? See, that's the whole thing, what I wanted to tell you. But again, don't misunderstand me, don't take it in the wrong way, don't jeopardize your career just by breaking up, just by leaving a job or anything of that sort. All I'm saying is just believe in yourself. Sit down with a paper and pen. Just go ahead with a notepad and a pen and write what you can do. Just start writing what you do right now in your day job, if you already got one, and how you can actually do it yourself without the expensive resources which you might already have set up in your present company. If you don't work a day job already, if you don't have a job right now, then that's that's even better. You know why? Because you have a clean mind right now. You don't have to think about what you do and how you can leverage on that. You just need to think that what you are, what you love to do. All right, because there is whatever you love to do, and how this could help other people. I mean, if you can like paint, then you can just make paintings for people. I mean, if you can do crafting, you can probably do that for people. If you're good at if you have a great voice, then you can probably do voiceovers for so many people on the internet. I mean, they will pay you big money. I mean, I would have paid someone over $1,000 to actually create this video course and give their voice. But like I said, this is not that kind of video, right? But I have paid, when I create video courses. I just need, someone to actually do the voiceovers for me, right? And I pay them huge money. So this is possible, guys. I mean, if you don't have a job, if you're not working a day job, if you think that you don't have any skills that you can leverage upon, then sit down and think again. Because I bet that you have something in you which can make you which can make you rich, which can make you money, which can give you peace of mind, which could get you freedom. Now, like I said, this course is not about making money online. That's the reason I'm saying that this is actually going to get you peace of mind in any form whatsoever. Okay, now it's pretty nice then. We're gonna cover certain other things from the next videos. This particular video is way longer than other videos we got. All the videos are like pretty much nugget sized. I made them bite sized so that you can you don't get bored or anything of that sort. It's not a how-to video where I'm gonna show you things which is happening. It's more of you sitting and basically listening to me and seeing the bold headlines right on the screen, because that's how the whole thing is. But it's gonna be really very beneficial, and I can promise that for sure. Thanks a lot for watching. See you very soon in the next one. Take care. Hello friends, welcome to second module. Now I would like to answer your questions that I myself proposed in the previous video. The question was, how can you leverage your skills because you don't have a setup like the company you already work for, right? Well, the answer depends upon the type of setup we are talking about here. Here are three important things, or three different kind of situations to consider. Number one, what type of clients do you want? Now see, you can get clients from traffic, free or paid, like Facebook, Twitter. If you want to invest some, which is obviously is a great idea, then you can go for solo ads. Or if you don't want to spend money right now, then maybe you can go for ad swaps. Now the second question could be, do you need an office or not? Now see, you don't need an office right now if you're starting out, because if you have an internet connection and a computer, that's basically all you need at this point of time. And since you're watching this video right now on the computer screen, I assume that you have that kind of setup already. Now the third condition, or the third question, is whether or not you want to sell digital products or you are interested in physical products. See, I suggest that you stick with digital products if you are starting out. Though the fact remains that I'm making a killing by selling just digital products, even when I can afford any number of physical copies of my books, my softwares, and other things which I'm promoting or I'm producing all the time. But still, if you want to sell physical versions, then you can do that as well for very cheap. Nowadays we have services like Konaki, where they deliver a physical product by converting your digital product, and the best part is that you can order only one piece if you need one. In fact, nowadays we have services like Print on Demand, where they convert a PDF or an ebook to a physical book for a very reasonable amount of money. And like the name suggests, it's print on demand, so you don't have to order in bulk. If you want like one book or two books or 5 books, you can go ahead and do that. But it's obviously, if you order in bulk, then you will get it for cheaper. Like, I'm not talking about like thousands of copies, I'm talking about like 5 or 10 or 15, because this is like the bulk marketing which is there in all kind of businesses, right? So for example, if you're going to get one book printed out, they're going to charge you something. But if you're going to
get 5 or 10 books printed out, then it'll cost you a bit less. And now, since we're talking about your subconscious fear, then I would say that you leverage on even this particular condition. I would say that if you're going to sell some physical products or a physical book, and if you have some money which you can invest in there, then I would suggest you go and get at least 10 to 15 copies printed out. That way you will be motivated to try and sell or promote all the physical copies which you have already printed out. Now, obviously, it's not worth taking a risk if you are really on a very tight budget. So what you can do is, you can wait for orders to come, right? And when you get an order of a physical book, what you can do is you can probably send the digital copy first, and then send them the email stating that they will be receiving their download, their physical book in so many days. And people are fine with that, because they know that you can be, from any part of the world, and everyone understands that now the businesses are global, all right? And since they're doing this business, or since they're doing the transaction over internet, they understand the fact that if they're getting something in physical format, then it could take some time, and that's totally acceptable nowadays. So not worry about that at all, right? So this brings us to a very important question, which I've almost passed by, but it just struck me, and I'm really glad it did. See, do you know what the biggest fear is for most people? See, the fear is of not knowing everything. Now, this sounds a little crazy, because we all say that there's nothing, we cannot just know everything about everything, right? But still, the fear of not knowing what to do to achieve what you want to achieve is the biggest fear. And I'm going to tell you what exactly I did to overcome this fear, right? So many people think that they don't have any special knowledge to start their own thing, and that is and that there is some sort of secret that successful people have, and they will never get to know unless they buy the product that successful people sell. In fact, the reason why I'm so confident about you possibly having this fear is because you bought this course. Now, see, this is not certainly a good way to make you feel really warm, and it's not like, since I have your money right now, I'm just telling you this. No, it's not all that. See, this is not a how-to video series. It's all about you and your hidden fears, right? So I'm just gonna shoot it really straight so you understand and you relate to what exactly I'm talking about here. All right. See, and since you've got this whole course, don't worry. I'm going to reveal the secret. You know what the secret is? The secret is that there is no secret. Yes, you heard it right. That there is no secret. The only secret to success is working consistently, and that is it. See, you won't make any money even from this product if you're not willing to take action. See, a lot of people think that they need to be perfect to be able to sell something online or offline, but the truth is that there is nothing called perfection, right? So there's always room to improve, and you can obviously improve even after you launch a product of your own. What do you think softwares and scripts and books have versions and volumes? It's simply because they release a software or book and make money, get feedback, and then improve the next version. So do you think Bill Gates could have been the most successful man in the world if he waited to be able to create Windows 7 back in 1990? No, not by any means. See, I suggest that you don't buy any other book if you already have some. If you already have some books right now in a hard drive, then I suggest that you stop buying books at this point of time. I want you to read them. Even if you have bought the books to with resale rights just to sell them and earn money, what I would say is, since you're going to sell that, and that means that people who are going to buy are most probably really interested in the content. So there has to be something good. So if the book you're going to resell, or if any book that you got right now which you've purchased or got for free from somewhere, then I would urge you to go ahead and read that book. See, unless you actually go ahead and try and gather some kind of knowledge, then there's nothing you'll be able to do with the knowledge which is sitting right in your hard drive, right? So now you might be thinking that reading a book, are you kidding, right? Because I personally don't like reading book at all, right? So especially physical books, no. And if it's a digital copy, then alright, maybe yes, because you don't have like, more control. Now this is my personal opinion. I'm talking about, it's not a generalized thing. I'm just talking about my personal view of what I like. So if you like physical books, then what you can do is, and if you have a digital, then go and just print the whole thing out and read it that way, or else try and see if you can get the whole thing recorded in your own voice or something, and that's not difficult. Now there are many people, including me, who have this awkward feeling of listening to themselves. So basically, if I record something and if I try to listen to the whole thing myself, then I might not ever let that recording go outside my hard drive. But then that's not how you succeed online or offline or anything, because that's also a kind of fear which you need to overcome. So what I'm saying is, go ahead and try to gather more from what you already got in there, instead of keep spending money all the time on the books and stuff like that, right? And yeah, obviously this is a very important thing which I would like to tell you. See, unsubscribe from all the lists you might be in right now and stick to just a few and follow the advice given to you very closely. Don't try to do a massive research to find that whose list is like the best or something like that, because you gotta show some trust. You gotta show some trust and respect to people who know what they're doing and the work and then work on their guidelines. The next very important thing is to acknowledge small successes and respect them. See, if you earn $10 a day online or even less than that, still the fact remains that you got a customer, right? And that means that you at least have something that people want, right? So just play Bill Gates or Steve Jobs, or to name some of the world's richest few, or Matt Basic or Mike Filsaime or Frank Kern, to name a few internet marketing celebrities, or follow upcoming marketers like me and gather some kind of and gather feedback on the product, right? So you can sell them. You can sell them and improve if it's necessary. See, if it's not your product and if you're just an affiliate, then try and get in touch with a vendor or creator to know if he has more product that you could probably sell to earn some more money. But you gotta stick to what you do. Now, another tip is to stop getting distracted. Stop tweeting. For example, if you think it eats a lot of time, just concentrate on getting a landing page up as soon as possible and drive some traffic using free traffic methods. Paid one obviously will give you better and quicker results. But then, like I said earlier, if you don't have money, then trust me, you can actually compensate that lack of resources by putting more time into it. So either you have money so that you can get some fast results, some even more laser targeted results. But if you are not in the position to invest more money on whatever you're doing or whatever you want to do, then spend some more time and you will achieve that. See, I've already given the resources and the products with this video series that you can use right away. See, I did the same thing myself about a year ago. I unsubscribed from about 58 lists and followed just 4 marketers, right? And I'm not making this up. See, I downloaded free products from giveaway events and bought resale rights if there was an option to get my first sales funnel ready. I included my best sales funnel right with this package as well, that you can follow very easily, and you can hit me up on Skype if you need some more help or want to get a consultation. Now, if you don't get the ball rolling, there is no point in investing in fancy products that are being launched every single day. And they're good, but they're only good if you already have a business set up. So they're designed to boost your online income, and typically they are not designed to get you started online. So you need to understand that. When someone tells you that they've made like $1 million in past 2 days, that's true, because they're showing you live ClickBank and PayPal screenshots and stuff like that. But do you know what? This kind of income which you're generating right now has a very big and deep history behind that. They might have worked for like 3 or 4 years, or maybe like more than that, and that's a great thing. And now they're generating that kind of money in 1 day or 1 night. So that's cool, and they're not lying. But then again, they're not even telling you the complete truth. Right? And I won't blame them, because they want to make money online, and that's the reason they have worked so hard in the past 3 to 4 years, and that's the reason they're making that kind of money right now. So don't just frown at other marketers who are releasing big products and who are actually telling you that their product could make you rich overnight, because probably they're telling you the right thing, but they're just assuming that you already got an online business up and running, and then by getting the software or the video course or the script or whatever, some new strategies which they might have tested and which is working for them, they just want you to give them to you so they can make use of it. So it's not a wrong thing, but then again, like I said, you gotta be stay focused. You stay focused and you will achieve success. That's the promise, my friend. Alright, so in the next video I will tell you the importance of building your brand, building your brand and your own list, and it's really very important, and I will tell you how exactly I did it, so you can get some more some more exposure to what exactly happens when you start building your list and your brand like I did. And then earn a name in the marketing industry, and then and then everything will start rolling automatically with a snowball effect. All right, thank you very much for sticking by, and let's see you in the next video. Have a wonderful time. Welcome to module 3. This is a killer, and it really kills you if you don't train your mind properly. This is a fear of losing control in your business. People run away when they hear the word outsourcing, but the fact is that if you try to accomplish everything on your own, chances are you will never ever get your projects off the ground. So if you think that you can create a product, design a website yourself, create a video series, do the graphics on your own, manage the entire launch, hire or motivate affiliates and partners, and get everything done within 7 days, then you're all set to lose big time, my friend. So it is not to demotivate you, it's just to tell you that it's very important that you accomplish a project in a given amount of time, because it doesn't really help if you try and do something try and do something where you are doing everything in like 1 month or 2 months, when you can actually get the whole thing done in less than 5 or 6 or max 7 days, and the quality obviously is going to be way better, because you're basically outsourcing, you're basically giving the professionals their job, and people who are actually doing the graphics all day long, they can obviously create great things for you, right? So it's great if you have skills to do everything. I just mentioned, because to be very honest with you, I myself do a lot of things myself, but I do things myself only when I'm confident that I'll be able to achieve what I really want without having to compromise on the quality or the deadline. There are lots of people in the world in different countries who can do things that could cost a fortune in your own country. But if you let the fear of losing control over the product by outsourcing, then chances are that you will never be able to get the job done in a reasonable amount of time and money. See, I've included a report, and it's a very special report on outsourcing with this pack, and I want you to read every single word very carefully, as I've mentioned some resources that I personally use to get my things done for very cheap. Yes, I'm talking about things like getting a professional intro video created for $5, or get a PHP website or blog design for like $10 or so. So this is a great thing, and it's not really a big secret, and you will get to know everything in the report which I've included right with this pack. All right. Now, one of the very simple example is Frank Kern. See, have you seen his landing pages? They're usually a video and an add to cart button, and that makes him $1 million, right? And we all know what kind of marketer Frank Kern is. It makes him real big bucks all day long, right? Now then you would see some awesome looking products that are floating all over the market, but are making just a couple of $100, and that's it. See, I'm not advocating a crappy looking sales page or a product or anything of that sort. All I'm saying is you need to take action and stop guessing and worrying about your yet to be made reputation. To summarize this module, Outsource things, because if you try to be jack of all trades, you are basically spreading yourself too thin. Launch a product with a simple landing page. Sell it for like 10 bucks or so. Try and get feedback from few customers, and then improve it. Improve it if necessary, right? Because there is always room for improvement, right? Now, let me give you a plan, right? It's very important. Now, it's something which I personally do, and it really yields awesome results. It's one of my secrets, actually, all right? So let me give this plan. In that case, you just might want to go to places like Warrior Forum or Digital Point or few other internet marketing discussion boards and get other marketers to review your product for free, and then get their feedback. See, improve it on the basis of the feedback you're getting, and then approach them with the better version of what you already got for them earlier, and show them that you actually followed their advice. Trust me, this really makes them feel proud, because they are in this business for quite some time, right? And you are following their advice. So this really does the magic, right? And they want to prove that they are experts, and they will be happy to give a testimonial because they actually reviewed the product, and they themselves will offer to promote your product to their list, and you will start making money. See, if you're worried about products, check out the PLR products which are included in this pack. These are resources which are being sold out, in the marketplace for like thousands of dollars, literally, and you're gonna get it as a bonus because you bought this video series, right? And you can just rebrand them if it's in a private label, right? And just make them their own, modify it a bit, and just launch it as your own product. See how I got you all covered? Got a bold line over your head somewhere? Well, now go and take some real action, and we will proceed to the fourth module. Thank you very much. Hi there. The fourth thing we need to train our subconscious about is to ignore the inferiority complex that basically comes from the idea that we will look foolish if we try to do something new in this already established niche or market. You know, as a kid, I myself had this problem, and I had this till I was about 9 years old. In India, we have wedding ceremonies, and it's really very big, fast ceremony, and the attendees dance like crazy in front of the procession, where the groom sits on a horse, now replaced by a Mercedes-Benz or Lamborghini though, but then the custom, the rituals are the same, and people dance in front of the car as it proceeds to reach the bride's home where the marriage takes place. I always used to think how foolish I might look when I dance, and what would people think about it. So yeah, I had that kind of complex as a kid, and I slowly got rid of that and many other complexes in due course of time. And we will talk about something very similar to that here. You might feel that if you launch a product or publish few videos, and if people don't like it or smirk at it, you might ruin your name and feel embarrassed about the whole thing, right? This is a very common feeling, but you really need to overcome this complex if you want to succeed in any field whatsoever. In fact, I had such bouts of fear for many reasons. First thing, my English is not that great. Secondly, I'm young, and I felt that people might just laugh at my video where I try to actually help them out by revealing the secrets that work for me and solve some academic issues for some friends back in the college. Now, I also used to monitor the reviews and the comments so closely that I realized that I was spending over 4 to 5 hours a day just by watching my own video again and again and keeping an eye on the comments. I'm talking about the YouTubes and Vidler and other places where you go and post your videos. Now, I did this for about a month, and now when I calculate the time I kick myself so hard that you won't be able to even imagine. You know what? I mean, 5 hours a day for 30 days. 30 freaking days is 150 hours of counterproductive work. And if I calculate my hourly value, which is not cheap as of today, I see that I lost way more money in form of my time by doing this for a whole month. So basically, if you don't overcome this fear, then all you will find yourself doing is checking more and more emails every single day and not taking action on what you think might be helpful for you financially. See, as a part of my research before, I created the series, and I went ahead and I implemented one single idea of mine that I never worked upon because of my fear, without altering anything at all. I was shocked. I was literally shocked, or rather staggered, to see that I earned about $789 in a week. That's over $100 in a day. Now you might be thinking that earning $789 doesn't sound much, right? It doesn't sound like much money. So what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal about this is the fact that if I put this idea on pallet 2 years ago, not to mention 19 other ideas that never took off the ground, I never worked on them at all. I could have been creating this video series 2 years ago and making a ton of money already. So you see why the $789 makes more sense than $1 million right now to me. Now, so if you see where I'm coming from right now, you will get the hint, and we'll start about working on those seemingly stupid and bold money-making ideas, and we'll earn some money out of it for sure. Or at least you'll be able to write it off, if it doesn't work. But you at least give it a try, and that's very important. See, isn't that better than just wondering what would work for you and what would not? Why won't you simply try and do that thing first and see if it works for you or not? If you think about it, be a real transparent man. Being real transparent, foolish, or whatever other people may think. You have to get yourself published now. It's free if you have the mic and a camera or recording software. See, don't try to please everyone, because no one can do that. So you want to shoot a video of yourself talking about something that you're good at, right? Now, it might seem to be very common to you, but remember that when you publish this video online, people from all over the world will watch that video, and those things that is considered to be common in your community and country might be unknown to them, and they will become your fan. For example, I helped out a neighbor of mine to create a video on how to make chicken curry, a very common Indian food, right? And trust me on this when I say that it did such a huge thing to this lady, and are confident that she's all set to write a book on a very, very common topic, an extremely crowded niche about cooking Indian food. And I have promised her that I will help her out by slapping a PayPal button on one of my pages, on my several blogs and my download pages and my websites, and that she will for sure earn some money. Now, this is another experiment, but the difference is it's an experiment for her, not for me, because I know for sure that she will make money with my help. But you know what? There's a secret, and I hate to let it out. See, I might be preaching on this, but even I'm scared of failure a bit, and I'm re-recording this video for the 3rd time, and I made it a point to actually mention this in this video now. It's so that I can I can walk the talk and be transparent. And of course, this saves me from re-recording this video the 4th time, because I already mentioned that to talk about transparency, right? So let's market like a man, right? Not a coward, because people like to do business with transparent and real people. There are incidents that, when I receive a refund request on some of my products, and I want you to know, that, and I want to show you some proof that how I even convert or transform that angry customer into a loyal subscriber or customer, or a fan rather, right? This is present. So here's exactly what happened, and this was a short presentation. Thank you. Right, hello friends, this is the case study, or this example I wanted to show you. There's an email in front of us. It says, "Hi Anvesh, I purchased the product you promoted on December 9th through this link." There's a link over here. And however, the product is not delivered, and for the past few days I have emailed the creator via his support desk. However, there is no reply or intention of resolving this. I'm your subscriber, bought through your link, so I hope you can contact the creator and help me resolve it. I've attached the receipt down there of the purchase, and please reply me in the next 48 hours if you can help or not, or I will have to look for other resource to resolve this issue. Thanks, Simon Chu. Now, the guy is not happy, right? I reply back to the guy, say, "Hey Simon, sorry to hear that and thanks for being kind enough for letting me know before you raise a dispute against my partner. Now, I will go ahead and kick him right away and will make him answer your ticket. Alright, I don't get a reply from this guy, and then I send another email. I said, "Hi Simon, I tried contacting you and the creator, but I'm not able to reach him over the phone. I think I have a PDF with the instructions of the product you got from him, and could you please forward that download link to me so that I can check and let you know if I can help you out. Plus, I will review it as well. I tried to hunt it on my hard drive, didn't find. So the basic gist of this particular email was that I was not able to contact the vendor, unfortunately. So see, I've been so honest and transparent over here, and I told them that, and I showed the willingness to help him out because, you know, because he's my subscriber, he trusted me, he bought the product, though I was not paid for that because it's an instant commission thing. So the creator got paid, and the next product or the next reference which I made, I got paid for that. But that doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not looking for, I'm not doing this for money, right? Because I want my subscriber to be happy. So this is what I said. So still no reply, right? Then I sent another email that says, "You got Skype. My name is my Skype ID Anvesh. Let's fix it. I use a modified version that I modified a bit. So if there is urgent, then let me know, and I will send you the modified version which I created for the time being. And you know, like I said, don't worry, we'll get this thing started in some way or other." And then I received a reply from this guy the same day. It's, "Hi Anvesh, I just added you in Skype. We had a small discussion, and this is what he says." I said, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I will check with Sam myself, and I will see what exactly the case is all about." And he said, "I am not, because I now know you." I said, "Thank you for your trust, and I'm being told that you're the most helpful guru level internet marketer I know till now, and I am feel for quite some time shamefully saying that." And this is one customer who now buys and promotes almost everything that I'm selling. So the entire motive of this short presentation was, you know, if you are transparent, if you are a real man, if you are honest to your own subscriber, and if you accept your faults, then you will be big. You will get even bigger. You know, you will earn more respect, and everything will be very smooth. All right. Thanks a lot. Let's move to the next module. Welcome to Module 5. I really appreciate and thank you for sticking with me for so long, and since you're still watching this nugget-sized video, I assume that you're liking it. Alright, so in this video we will deal with a very common scenario that the subconscious makes us do all the time, regardless of what we're doing and for whom we are doing it. Copying. Right. People follow and copy the things the wrong way. Now, whatever I do is something that I believe in. I'm not gonna stretch this whole thing up. In fact, I'm gonna use some names, and I just wanted to set a tiny verbal disclaimer that this is by no means to defame anyone. And you will see my good intention behind this example and eye-opening module, that is this one. Now, what I've noticed in my 3 years of marketing experience is that people try to copy giants. A great thing to do is what most of us think. But look at it this way. Why on earth people would buy anything from a watered down clone of a successful marketer when they can get their real deal by probably spending a few extra bucks? Alright, so how many times or how many Frank Kern's or John Reese kind of videos do you see flying all over the internet where people try to speak like Mike Filsaime, Matt Basic, John Reese, and other biggies? A lot, right? See, I've even seen deceptive videos where people show false proofs of their PayPal account or ClickBank account or their autoresponder accounts to sell the stuff to show you, what they earn, like, that they earn like Frank Kern or John Reese. Hence, they're doing this video in their style. I mean, that's what they think they are. That's what they think they're doing, and they even think that they're successful in convincing people by doing such things, right? Now, think about this for a moment. If there's something, or if there's someone who's really earning $1 million a day, would he even care to go and copy someone else, or rather, get his own voice out in the market? The latter, right? Yes, because have you seen Mike Filsaime copying Frank Kern, or Matt Basic copying Mike, or on a small scale, have you seen any video like this
that you think I copied from? Well, I don't think so. And when I started out, I used to open 7 to 8, sometimes even more, official blogs of established marketers. When I was building my first blog, that was anveshwar.com. Now, I changed and tweaked and tried to make it my own, right? But I failed, and that was inevitable. And I understand that now, though. See, I keep failing until one day I decided to just start from scratch and write my own stuff in my own style, because I felt like a jackass when I saw these marketers change the way their sites and their blogs looked in like less than 3 to 4 months. Yes, and they did, and they do it even now, because they have staff, they have web designers, they keep doing split testing, all right, and they have so much resource at their disposal all the time, and they take care of the whole techy stuff without even involving them, right? And when it comes to code writing, etc., and by no means I would like to do the same mistake again in trying to clone someone else, in order to clone something which is not even permanent. And you know what? This entire thing is directly related to something that we all face all day long in our mind. And that's fear of rejection. See, fear that what if people don't accept the work we did because there's someone else who has done this job in a perfect manner even before us, right? But you know what? Who cares? Seriously, who cares? So do you think they all were perfect when they started out? No, by no means at all. So you need to overcome this, and don't worry at all about the rejection or anticipate 100% acceptance. Be original and hope for the best and be prepared for the worst. But remember one thing. An optimistic marketer or an optimistic guy will see opportunities in difficulties, but a pessimist would see difficulties in opportunities. It's all the mind game, and you can straight shoot only when you believe in yourself, period. See, I created this video series, but trust me, by not copying anyone. In fact, I faced my fears once again and thought that what if people don't like my accent, or what if they are just not comfortable while learning something from a young guy like me, or what if I get stinkers and experience rejections. Well, but as you can see, since you're watching this video, you know that I overcame all those fears, and proof that I succeeded is that you're taking time to even watch what I got for you. But that doesn't mean that I ignored my fears, because that would have been a great mistake on my part. I just found a solution for that. So number one solution was my decision of including a transcript of this video series. So in case you have any sort of difficulties in watching the video, you can still go ahead and read the book or listen to the audio, which I'm going to include while you are in the gym, or you're driving, or just doing something that wouldn't allow you to actually sit and see the videos, but you can listen to my voice. There are situations where we cannot watch videos, but we can afford to listen to something, right? So that's exactly one of the conditions why I'm including this audio as well in this pack. Now, do you know something? No one in the world but you care for what people will think of your actions. The truth is they don't even care at all. So it's you and your subconscious that makes you feel that they are watching you. That they're watching you, whereas the fact is that they don't even care. See, if they don't like your stuff, they will pass by without even commenting on your product. And in case if they pass some negative remarks, then just take it positively. Take it in a positive way, and try and improve or repair the product that is it. And while you're trying to do that, if you feel or you figure once again that what you have done is great already, then just forget about what they said, because maybe you can just get the whole thing reviewed once again by someone else, whom you think is okay. I mean, if someone is able to review your product, and if you really think that he could be the right guy, who can actually tell you or criticize in a proper way, in a neutral manner, then just go ahead and get that thing done. But don't just put things off just because someone has passed a negative comment on your job, or on whatever you have done or whatever you're trying to do at this point of time. That is it. So you need not be intimidated by anyone, be it your friends, your family, or just plain strangers. Try this, and let's see how you don't succeed in whatever you want to do. See you in the next video. All the best. Welcome to Module 6. I want to drag the last video a bit for about like 45 seconds because I just want to say that please be unique and be yourself. See, if you're rude, be rude. If you're quiet, be quiet. You know, if you're unique in just about any way, then go ahead and be yourself. Maintain your originality. It's very important, or else people will not recognize you as a personality. They might just think that you are a clone, or you know, you're just trying to copy someone else, and you're just not able to even make it up to that mark where you can actually tell yourself that you're an exact copy of a successful marketer. Alright, now let's move to the main topic of this 6th module. Well, it's fear of commitment. In fact, it's dual fear of commitment. Yes, there are like 2 types of fear of commitment. The first one is the commitment to yourself, and the second one is the commitment towards your niche or product. I personally procrastinated for about 2 years after purchasing one of the most expensive membership site scripts and never create one. Why? I don't know. I mean, I seriously don't know, because there is no real reason. And you'll probably think that why I sound so proud and happy about it. Well, I'm not proud. I'm not proud at all about that. But yes, I'm happy. But I at least know that one idiot I was. And I will never repeat the same mistakes again. That's for sure. You can just go to probably ultimatemembershipblast.com. It's one of my websites which never took off the ground. And I see that, and you can see that there is a script that's set up and nothing else. It's not that I don't have products or services that I can sell there. In fact, I probably have more products and offer and more services than any other internet marketer. But I was not able to set up that membership site because I had the fear of commitment. Right. So what is this fear of commitment, right? Well, fear of commitment means another thing here. And at least for this, I just kind of want to make sure that I'm perfect. I just want to make sure that I deliver the products in the right time, because if it's a membership website, then obviously you know how it rolls, right? I mean, the members expect to get the value continuously, correct? And I know that I could pretty much handle that. In fact, right now I'm running like 3 different membership websites, and they're all running well. And yes, we are human. Everyone knows that if you are a real person who's actually maintaining a membership website, and if it's not in autopilot mode, and they would rather be more interested, because there is an interaction. There are some membership sites, there are some blogs, some content rich blogs, and other places where you can actually go, and article directories where you go and you find updated stuff every other day. But you can tell by looking at those blogs and forums and membership sites that they are on autopilot. And that's the reason you're getting updated stuff. But you cannot do much about that if you have some kind of doubt, or if you find something wrong in the product, because writing a review, or trying to get in touch with the admin of that particular membership site might not just help, because you know that it's on autopilot, right? But yes, if you are a part of a membership site, or if you're a member of a membership site which is actually run by a responsive admin or host or the owner of the website, then you won't mind getting a product or two available, which made available to you after like 1 or 2 days after it's downloaded, because that the membership site owner is probably reviewing the product, and before adding to his membership site is trying to check the quality and other stuff like that. So that was the thing. And but still, the fear of commitment never let me set this ultimatemembershipblast.com. Right, now fear of commitment means another thing. There's jumping and hopping from product to product. Now, get this straight. It takes time to test profitability, period. Okay? There is no alternative to test profitability. Yes, you can accelerate the process. What you can do is you can do a lot of different split tests. You can
keep optimizing things. You can make a very dynamic protocol or a flowchart where you keep changing things just to check where your system or where your project is taken. If it's a profit or if it's a loss or if it's stagnant. But still, the fact remains that it takes time to test profitability, and it does, because it's just like any other relation. Okay, now you just can't test if a relation is going to work for you or not without giving any time to it, right? People do that sometimes and find themselves in an ocean of remorse, thinking about what if. Yes, what if? What if I had given a chance to this relationship, or maybe what if I never shouted back at him or her, and tons of other what ifs, where you just find yourself in an ocean of remorse, and you just kind of wish that you had a time machine or something so that you can go back and try to make things right. But that never happened. So then at that point of time, you think that, hey, you know what, I should give some more time to things, and let me just take decisions in a proper manner, not hastily and stuff like that. But then what happens the next day or after like 1 week, you forget that, and you just or maybe you still know in your conscious mind that this has happened to you, but your subconscious is not trained yet to imply this this teaching, which you actually learn the very hard way onto other things, right? Okay, let me try to break this down in simple terms. Basically what I'm trying to say is, even if you fail sometimes in certain things, and you know that what the reason was, okay, you might not do the same thing again, but there are many other things which are exactly similar to which are exactly similar to what you've already been through. But since your subconscious mind is not trained enough, since you've not given a proper training, if you've not since you've not given a proper feedback to your subconscious mind won't allow your conscious mind to see that it's exactly the same situation, and you need to deal this with deal the situation with patience, so that you don't run into the same problem so that you don't find yourself again in an ocean of remorse like you did earlier because of that relationship failure. I mean, this is an example. So this is what a fear of commitment means. Okay. See, similarly, a business model also requires time. Right? It requires your attention and demands patience. Never ever write off a promotion unless you ensure that you have given your 100% to it. And I'm sure that you will be able to make some real money online. Okay, let's take this example. Let's say you want to be a blogger. Okay, you want to be a blogger. So go and get a domain registered. All right. Install a WordPress blog. Okay, now I'm going to stop here. I'm sorry for that though. See, I've been telling this since the very first video that we're not talking about any specific money-making way, right? But I'm going to take this example because this is a very this is a very common, or you can say a universal kind of example, which anyone, I mean, you don't have to really be a blogger or anything, you don't really have to be a technical guy, but you'll still understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's get back to what I was saying. Okay, so let's say you want to be a blogger, right? So go and get a domain registered, install a WordPress blog, install the plugins you need, install the plugins you think you might need or you might want to use to profit from your blog, and stick to it. Right? Stick to it for a month or two and give it some time to see how much money you're making. I mean, even if you're not making money, it's fine. Just wait and see if you're doing something. Read books and guides on blogging and attend seminars. There are a lot of free seminars and books available over internet that will tell you what you need to do with your blog in order to test the profitability or optimize it and get some profit. But if you still find yourself in a stagnant position, then probably that thing is not for you, or probably you cannot do that, and that's fine. I mean, everyone can't do everything, right? I mean, you might be for something else, but at least you will be happy if you take it in a positive way, again, don't be a pessimist, right? You could be happy because now you know that you are not made to be a blogger. I mean, you don't just belong to that particular niche or that particular industry in a broader sense or anything of that sort. But at least you have some experience now, right? I mean, no one can fool you in future by trying to sell you something about blogging or blog course, because you have tried what you think you tried what you think was your 100%, right? I mean, if you were honest to yourself, you don't really have to show other people. If you feel, all right, because these are things which cannot be measured, but if you feel that you have given your 100%, if you have given your 100% into something, then that is enough, right? You don't really have to tell everyone else by telling that, I did my 100% and this is the proof, and I was not able to make money. Don't do it, because and just let yourself free. Let your subconscious speak with your conscious mind. Let them interact. Okay, only then you will be able to get out of this false peripheral barrier where you would which others will never be able to, because they're not really letting the subconscious and conscious mind to talk with each other. All right. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you think there is something which you want to work on, if you think there is something which could benefit you, try and do it, and put your 100%. Okay, give some time to it. Now this depends on what kind of thing. So I can't really tell you, because it's not a specific thing I'm talking about, right? So it could be like 15 days. There are certain things where you can test the profitability or whether or not if it's working for you within like 15 days. But then there are certain things for which you need to probably wait for like 4 or 5 months, or even sometimes more than that. You are the judge. You are supposed to take the control of your life and what you want to do. Correct? So just do it. And the good thing here would be, in future, if you ever get to see something related to what you've already tried, and people claiming that do this to get this kind of result, you at least know that you have tried that, right? And it might be working for others, but it's not working for you for some reason. So you can simply write that thing off. So you'll not even feel guilty about not trying something out there which could have made you richer. All right. So that's the whole thing. In fact, let me tell you a very short thing which was not planned at all in this video series. A small example, a small can say a case study. Thomas Alva Edison. All right. For those who don't know who he was, Thomas Alva Edison is the inventor of the light bulb. All right, the light bulb we use every single day, everywhere. Okay, and it took him like years to actually build a working bulb, and he did like thousands of experiments. All right, he failed, he tried, and he did whatever he wanted to do, whatever he thought could work, and everything. And finally, when the bulb was created, a reporter came and asked that, "Sir, what do you have to say about this experiment of yours, all right, or of this invention of yours?" So Thomas Alva Edison was like, "It was a pretty neat thing, and it took some time, and we got something done. So I'm happy." So the reporter was like, "Well, but you failed for like over 1,000 times. What do you have to say about that?" Thomas Alva Edison's answer was pure genius. His answer was, "I never failed 1,000 times." So the question was obviously, how come? We all know that you've tried the same thing since like past so many years, several years, 1,000 times. Thomas Alva Edison was like, "No, I never failed 1,000 times. I just figured 1,000 ways of how not to create a light bulb, and then finally I figured one single way that works." So try and get this, guys. All I'm saying is, if you take life in a positive way, if you keep doing something which you really believe in persistently, you will achieve that. All right. So that's probably about it for this particular module, because all I wanted to say is fear of commitment. Let it flow. I mean, don't be afraid of commitments. go and hit the things which you think is going to work, or or you plan to do in future or at present. Set some short-term goals, set some long-term goals, track things properly, move ahead, and you will rock. Thank you very much for sticking with me. We're gonna move to the next one, where you will learn certain other great things about yourself, your fears, and your subconscious mind, and will be in a very rapid success blast, and that's what Rapid Success Blast is all about. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome to the module 7 of this video series, and we're going to talk about something very important, that's procrastination. Procrastination, or putting everything on the back burner. Procrastination means you avoiding, or you keep putting off whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing at that point of time. And while it conjures up images of lounging on the sofa or watching daytime TV when you're supposed to be writing an ebook, that's not always the case. Instead, you could feel incredibly busy, and yet the one thing you should be doing isn't getting done. For example, let's suppose you need to work on your ebook, but instead you're doing this. You start off in the morning by surfing forums and websites, then you check your emails, then you start replying to the emails. Right. Then you get another business idea while reading the email, and then start researching on that. Then you remember that you need to make some calls, right? It could be a partner, it could be your friends, it could be family, or anything. Then you could simply go back researching on what you were doing. Then you run out for lunch, then you come back, and then you start surfing forums and check emails again, and so on, all day long. At the end of the day, you're exhausted because you have been so busy and you were actually doing a lot of work, but yet you haven't gotten that one single thing that you actually wanted to do, that is getting your ebook done. And that is procrastination. And you can beat it. You can actually beat it in 3 easy steps. The first step is conquering it is. That means that you need to recognize what exactly is going on and what's happening, like why you're getting exhausted, why you're feeling so busy, and why your work is not getting done. You will win half the battle just by doing that. If you spend all day feeling busy but you're not actually productive, then you are procrastinating. So you get to know when you're procrastinating. The second step is to think about why you're procrastinating. If you can figure that out, then you're shining a light on your fear. What? Are you afraid of success? Or are you afraid of the unknown? Are you afraid of failure? Or maybe you're just not ready to step out of your comfort zone. So you need to beat these things, and this is something which only you can do, right? No one else can help you out with this one, because it has to be you who needs to understand that what's going on with your life. Now, if you are afraid of success, it's possible. There is a reason behind that. Many people just look at other people and see that they're successful, and it's a very common notion that when you look at someone who is very successful, you simply stop thinking that he might have done something illegal, or he might have done something wrong to attain that kind of success, right? Or you could be afraid of the unknown. You could be like, all right, I'm doing some kind of job right now and earning, like, let's say $150 per day, and what if I lose a job? Right, and you hate that job. Let me mention this as well. You do that, you're making money and everything, but you hate your job. But you're not ready to even quit that. You know why? Because you are afraid. That is fear of unknown. All right. So you need to even win that fear as well. And then afraid of failure. That is something which people think is one of the main reasons, but you know what, that is actually the last reason, because you need to do something in order to fail. And if you are afraid of your success, if you're afraid of the unknown, then you will never be able to get anything started. So fearing or getting afraid of failure, it would be the last thing what you will be able to do. But then again, yes, that is one of the major reasons why people procrastinate. Or maybe you're just not ready to step out of the comfort zone, like I mentioned. So that's all again, something which is related to the fear of unknown. Because what you're doing right now is pretty good. You think it's pretty good, right? Because you're just moving out of your home in the morning and doing whatever you want to do, though the fact remains that you are working for someone else and making them richer every single minute you're working in that office, right? But still, and feel that you are in your comfort zone because everything is, everything is in routine. But who is making that routine? People who are successful, people who are above you, they are making that routine for you. They wanted to be at the office at 9 o'clock. They wanted to eat your food at 12:30. Doesn't matter if they're hungry or not because that's your lunch time. And then at 3 o'clock, you have to take a break and then go and have some tea or coffee. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, someone else is deciding when you want to have your food. Someone else is deciding when you want to have your coffee. Someone else is deciding that when exactly you're supposed to finish your work and go back to your home. Isn't that really crazy? But still, you think that you're in your comfort zone, right? And the final step is breaking free. The final step is breaking free and start taking small steps towards your goal, right? The chains of procrastination is really very difficult to break at certain point of time. And this is something which you might think, but that is not exactly the truth. We're going to talk about this a little later in this video itself. All right. Now, something which happens to all of us, that's making excuses. Making excuses is just blaming someone else for your fears. Alright, and finally, this is the one major ways we show our fear, by blaming someone else or something else for our disappointments, and that includes future failures and disappointments as well. It happens when we don't take responsibility, right? And instead of taking responsibility, we pin the blame elsewhere. It happens when we make excuses for why we won't be able to do something. Consider this: two people launch a product, both have dismal launches. Right? They explain them this way. Person one: my launch was disappointing because there were so many of the big launches that day and I didn't have a chance. The person two says, my launch was disappointing because my launch plan was lacking. I didn't get enough JV partners, and my sales clear didn't convert as well as it should have. So most of us, unfortunately, sound a lot more like the person one than person two. Indeed, it's really hard to take full responsibility of our disappointments and failure. But when we do that, we actually conquer something real big. So, the next time when you find yourself looking elsewhere for a reason as to why something didn't work for you, stop. Alright? Stop and look to yourself first. And then commit to changing your behaviors or attitude the next time you do something important. Remember the person two? He actually said that I didn't get enough JV partners. So now he knows that he needs to get in touch with more joint venture partners in order to make his next launch successful. But the person one was saying that my launch was disappointing because there were so many other big launches that day. So can you do something about it? I mean, can you go and get those launches to fail, or can you just go and tell other marketers that they should stop their launches because you're launching something that day? That's crazy, right? So do you think the person one will ever be able to do a successful product launch? I don't think so. Alright, now here's one more thing. Remember that you can take sole credit for your success. When you're successful, you're like, yeah, I mean, I might have some role model, but I did everything in order to be successful. But when it comes to take sole responsibility of your failure, you don't do it. So remember, if you can take sole credit for your success, you need to take sole responsibilities of your failures. Now let's look at another common fear. It's fear of abundance, wealth, and prosperity. Welcome to the module 8, friends, and we're going to talk about the fear of abundance, the fear of richness. And it's so important, and it's like it's so huge basically, that I've decided to give this a section of its own. Namely, is the fear of abundance and the clinging to scarcity and poverty thinking. Now you may assume that since you want to be rich, there is no way you would have to fear that richness or abundance. Why try to achieve something you're scared of, right? Yet this fear strikes down entrepreneurs time after time. And the reason is because they can't shut off a lifetime of programming. Have you ever heard your family or your loved ones say something negative about someone else's wealth? I bet you have. We all have. We have spent a lifetime listening to comments like, she didn't need a bigger house, she just moved into the big house to show off. He bought the car to impress the neighbors. She could have just bought a Ford, but of course she just had to have a Lexus because she wanted to show off. Now, something like this. What about this? You might have gotten this all the time in your years. He sure thinks a lot of himself. You can tell by the fancy clothes he wears. All that money, and yet children around and the world are starving and hungry. Doesn't seem right, does it? I wonder where he got all this money from. Or it's pretty to make that kind of money legally, so he might have done something wrong. Or guess he hasn't been in church lately to know what God thinks about rich people. In other words, we have been programmed to believe that rich people are selfish, braggarts, that they got their money illegally, and other negative characteristics. When you have had those messages hammered into your head for years, you can see where deep down you might be hesitant about becoming wealthy. So we can convince ourselves that we will be different. We say our money won't change us. We know that we will be charitable with our money rather than using it for evil. That is it. That's all we need to do. Now, but there's still something else that's holding us back. Even though we know we won't become those rich people we despise, again, that's a negative programming. But then let's be with it, because we cannot just remove something that is so hard-coded in our mind. But then there's another very real fear. Namely, we know that we will become despised by others. It's true. When we become rich, others will suddenly find plenty of fault with us. They will seek to rip us down. They will talk negatively about our money. And, they will simply roll their eyes in our direction. Some people do it because, like many of us, they have been programmed to think and speak about rich people in that way. And some of those people will be just plain jealous. They want to be rich too, and they can't seem to clear those mindset hurdles. As such, that means you need to develop a thick skin. Do what you need to do, but don't pay attention to negative comments. Do what you think is right in life, and don't let someone else's pretty words hold you back. Indeed, there's nothing wrong with wealth. You might even look at it as your duty to become wealthy. Think about it this way. Let's say there is a cause near and dear to your heart. Perhaps you have kids that you want to raise the right way. Maybe your parents are getting elderly, and you absolutely abhor the idea of them going to a nursing home, or perhaps there are charitable causes that pull on your heartstrings. There could be a lot of different good things which you can do if you're wealthy. Now, when you stay in the same place in life that you are at right now, you cannot offer any more help. You cannot do more. You cannot make someone else's life better. And if you are struggling to make ends meet, how could you just make anyone else's life better? So, what happens when you become wealthy? Now that you're doing fine, you can help others too, right? You can give your kids the opportunities you never had. You can make sure your parents are able to live with you rather than going to a nursing home, and you can help improve the lives of strangers or animals, the earth, the arts, etc. Because you can now donate to worthy causes. You can do all of that when you are not rich, of course, but it's hard. And you can do so much more when you're wealthy. So, doesn't it make sense to become wealthy? To think otherwise is almost like withholding opportunities for a better life for someone else. Someone else who's just plain jealous, or someone else who has no clue of what it is to be like to help other people or to be wealthy. What we've said so far should help you to shake loose the chains of poverty thinking, clinging to scarcity, and other negative thoughts about wealth that might be holding you back. Now, let's look at specific ways to start attracting abundance into your life. How to use the law of attraction to attract wealth. The law of attraction is simple. What you focus on expands. That is all about law of attraction. If you're constantly worried about bills and thinking, I don't have money to pay my bills, you'll soon find that what you're thinking about becomes a reality. Soon enough, you absolutely won't have enough money. And the more you think about it, the more dire your situation becomes. That's the law of attraction working. Except in this case, it's not working in your favor. Instead, you need to focus on what you would like to feel like. Be grateful for what you already have. Alright? Be grateful for what you have and be grateful for what's coming. Focus your intentions and desires on the emotion of how you will feel when you will get that. So instead of saying I don't have enough money, you can say I'm grateful that I have an abundance of money. And yes, you say that even when you don't have that kind of money yet, and you perceive to be in abundance, because what you focus on, what you think about, expands and becomes reality, and that's a proven scientific fact, and is actually termed as law of attraction. Now, how do you use the tools to attract abundance? Is one of the very common questions people ask me all the time when I tell them about law of attraction. So another way to help you attract abundance is by setting your goals, setting your intentions to meet these goals, and then using these tools. Create a dream board. That's something which I do all the time. I create a dream board, and it's nothing but a large plastic board which you create where you paste all your dreams, or you write, or you just make a collage of whatever you want in your life, like a good car, or maybe a big house, or anything of that sort. So, and put the board in some place where you're likely to see frequently, or you can create a collage of pictures like I just mentioned on your computer that reflects your desires, and set this picture as your wallpaper. For example, let's suppose you want to have a perfect house and a perfect car in mind. So find pictures of these houses and car on the internet and paste them on your dream board. If you want to give money to charity, paste a picture that reminds you of that charity. Ideally, you should choose pictures that cause an emotional reaction in you. Okay, I'm not really getting into the biological, biological terms, but I just want to mention this to you. See, guys, there is, people say the think from heart, but you cannot obviously think from heart, because all the thinking is done by your brain, right? But there is something called hypothalamus, right? Hypothalamus is a gland which secretes emotional fluids, right? And 3 codes of hypothalamus is actually directly linked to your heart. So that's the reason when you get emotional, people say that you're thinking from your heart. So the thing is, you should have something in front of you which you like, right? And when you see those things in your subconscious, you start your desires to get those things just becomes stronger, and the law of attraction just makes it impossible for that thing to stay away from you. It just tries to pull that to you, and this thing really works, right? And here's the deal: the gratefulness journal helps you to do exactly that. All right, write a gratefulness journal. Sometimes we need to stop and think about what we are grateful for today, because when we focus on good in our life, it expands and more good comes our way. So the gratefulness journal helps you do exactly that. Every day, take the time to write down 5 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. You could be grateful that you found a close parking space at your store, or anything for that matter. The point is, there's a lot of good things in your life, right? And when you're grateful for all the good, you can expect more to come your way. But if you don't realize the grateful, if you don't show gratitude, if you don't see, if you don't show thankfulness to things which you're getting, and which are actually kind of making you happy, and instead of just trying to acknowledge that, if you're just thinking about what you don't have all the time, and you're just attracting the negativeness, the negative energy. So again, the law of attraction is working, but in a negative way. So everything we've talked about sounds pretty good, right? But you might be wondering how to stay motivated. So you will discover plenty of tips and tricks in the next section. Stay tuned. Welcome to the video 9. Motivation. Getting a regular kick in the pants to keep you going. Imagine like a flash, you suddenly get the most amazing business idea. It may have struck you the middle of the night, and no matter what's going on, you drop everything and start working on your new idea. Sometimes you forget to eat, sometimes you hardly sleep at night because you'd rather work on your idea than sleep. But then the seemingly inevitable happens. You lose the passion. Your enthusiasm wanes. Indeed, you get a little bored working on your project and eventually you stop working on it. And soon enough the cycle repeats when another idea hits you. Now, does that story sound familiar? Well, that's what I thought. But if you said no, then let me tell you that that is a lie. Stop kidding yourself. If you think that this is something which would never happen to you, because this is something which happens to everyone. See, you get all fired up about a project, but you can't seem to hang on to the enthusiasm for more than a few weeks. As you probably already figured out, part of it is fear. Your enthusiasm wanes because that way you don't finish the project, and when you don't finish the project you don't have to be faced with success or failure. Life continues as it is, which is a safe place to be, but you want more. You wouldn't be reading this report if you didn't want more. So here's how to give yourself a regular dose of motivation and keep you fired up, or keep that fire burning right in your belly throughout the duration of the project. You gotta set goals and write them down. We all have goals and we need to realize that. And when you realize that, then write them. But those who write their goals, they're likely to achieve their goals more often. Why? Two reasons. First, writing them down crystallizes your goals. It keeps you on track because you know exactly where you're going. You're less likely to wander off and get distracted by the next bright, shiny idea that catches your eye. Alright, and then secondly, put your goals down on a paper. Put your goals down on paper because that's going to make you more committed. You always feel guilty if you don't follow through. After all, you basically made a promise to yourself. It's a commitment. And psychological study, and it's a proven psychological study of commitment and continuity. Now here's a tip. Write down both your big and small goals. You see, if you just write down your big goals, it will seem like it takes forever to reach them. And that will again rub off the enthusiasm because you will start feeling that you're not achieving. Because a big goal might take like 6 months to like even 1 year for you to achieve. And if that is one goal which you want to achieve, then that's a great thing. But after 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, when you have not achieved that goal, because you're not supposed to achieve that goal, because it's a big goal, right? I mean, it's going to take 6 months or like 1 year, and you cannot do anything to accelerate that because things take time. Like a relationship takes the time to ripen up. It's a similar way. Your goals, your ideas, your business plan, they need time, right? But if you have small goals set up, then you will be able to reward yourself. You will be happy because if you have let's take this example. You have a great goal of making an authority website, right? You want to be one of those guys, who are big shots. And an authority website is nothing but a website where you talk about big shots of a particular niche. Okay, let's take one example. Let's say selfgrowth.com is one of the authority websites. So what happens for them is when you go and look for Big Shot's name in the internet, not only the big shots, even the budding stars and people who are actually growing at this point of time, or people who have achieved something in their life. Amazingly, you will get the selfgrowth.com's report at the first page in Google when you do it. That's what an authority website is. And obviously this kind of thing takes a real long time to achieve, even if you spend a lot of money, because you need to do a lot of research and stuff like that. But if you have small goals which you have set, then obviously you will see the results sooner, right? So if you have like 5 or 6 small goals in the span of 6 months, and if you plan to achieve one goal in like 15 or 20 days, then that's a great thing, because for 15 to 20 days your enthusiasm will be there. I mean, you need to keep it. There has to be sustaining force, and you have to just put on catalysts all the time. You need to learn more. You need to track the stats. You need to see what's working, what's not. Keep yourself on fire all the time to achieve the small goals, and these small goals are gonna make the big goal, I mean, they'll help you achieve the big goal as soon as possible. So once again, let me tell you this, that having a big goal is a great thing. In fact, that's exactly what you need to have in your life in order to succeed. But having small goals are equally important, because they are the real measure sticks, the real yardsticks, and you will get to know that what's exactly happening. You see, if you just write down the big goals, it really becomes very difficult. Okay, so let's move to the next point here. For example, well, let's go to the next example of this, because this is so important. I just want to stress a little more on that, right? So let's suppose your goal is to make $1 million a year, but if you're like a lot of business people, it'll likely take you more time to reach that point. But in the interim, there are plenty of other small goals worth celebrating. Your first dollar, your first $1,000, your first $10,000 a month, or so on. So focus on your small goals. All right, focus on your small goals too. That way you will feel accomplished as you reach those smaller milestones, and that feeling of accomplishment will keep you going for a long time as you make a steady march towards the biggest goal. Does that mean you should forget about the big goals? Absolutely not. You want to write those down too. You'll want to put them on your dream board. You'll want to think about them every single solitary day. But the difference is that the big prize isn't the only goal you're working towards. You'll be working towards plenty of smaller goals, and it's these smaller goals that will create bridges to your larger goals. Now, here's one thing which many people refrain doing. In fact, I'm one of those guys. But what I've learned from my experience and observation, I think this is what you need to do. You need to tell others about your goals. See, it works the same way as writing it down. In that, it makes your vision clear about your goals and helps you commit to your goals. Indeed, telling others is an even bigger commitment than merely writing your goals down. Think about it. Let's suppose you tell your family that you want to write an ebook, or you're developing a software. All right, then you'll be probably asked plenty of questions. They will ask you a lot of questions about your goals, which helps you focus on what you really want to achieve. But also, they'll probably ask you again in a few weeks or a few months. You just know they will say something like, how's an ebook coming along, right? So it's very important. So this is a real good kick in the pants. It's a real kind of motivator right there. But you need to be really very careful with the strategy. However, this particular strategy can either make you or break you. That's because if you tell the wrong people, the strategy could actually backfire. Namely, if you tell naysayers, all right, and the doubters about a goal, they will come at you with so much negative talk that they could actually they could actually just rub you off, But the bottom line is here, only tell your goals, all right, to people with similar kind of dreams, all right, hopes and dreams to those who know you will absolutely support you. If you like the strategy, then you will love the next strategy. It's getting an accountability partner. Okay. Now, when we say partner, the first thing that comes to mind is a spouse, and second thing could be a business partner if you're thinking that way. Now, what's even better than publicly committing to goal by writing it down and telling other people? Simple. Taking it up a notch by giving or getting an accountability partner and giving them the responsibility to track things down for you. I'm not talking about hiring a virtual assistant. I'm talking about someone with whom you meet every day. Right? I'm talking about someone who has same kind of dream. You see, if you just tell other people about your goal, they may or may not ask you about it because they are not interested on that. I mean, even if they're your closest family, they might be interested because they love you, right? And they will be interested just because they love you, not because they love the idea you got. Or if they're doing their own job or something, then obviously they have a lot of different things to do. They have a life to live, right? So they cannot keep asking you or poking you all the time. In fact, in my case, what happened was, which I realized like after 1.5 years, that when I set my goals to a group of my friends. I mean, there were like 3 people. All right, they asked me about what I'm doing for like 1 month, and the second month, and for like 3 or 4 months. Then they stopped asking about it. So, and I thought that they are not interested in my thing anymore. So I stopped talking about that. But after 8 months, they asked me again about the same thing, and it was amazing because all 3 of them asked me together. So that means that it was there in their mind. It's not like you told the 3 people, they asked you for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then they forgot, and then after 8 or 9 months, just one of those guys is asking you again. They actually planned this, because after 4th month, when they asked me about what's going on, I kind of gave them a negative answer. I was like, you know what, I don't know. I mean, I'm doing this thing since past 4 months. I thought it'll be done in like 6 months, but it looks like it's going to take like over 1 year. So I don't know what's going to happen. So they thought that if they keep poking me, if they keep asking me about what I'm doing and what I'm achieving, then I might feel bad and I'll be bogged down. So they are real friends. So I don't blame that. I blame them. But yes, at one point of time, I actually got them wrong, because I thought that they're not interested and they're not given, and they're not with me in my things. So that was it. So here's where I said that you need to get an accountability partner. Accountability partner is different. Your partner knows what you're supposed to be doing. She knows she's supposed to ask you about it. All right, and I'm saying she instead of he, because I have an accountability partner. She is no one but my fiance. All right, so here's how the thing is going to roll. Okay. See, now just consider this for a moment. If you know someone is going to touch base with you every day, or maybe every few days, depending on your arrangements, it's very hard for you to procrastinate, be a perfectionist, or make excuses. See, your partner simply won't let you do it. Now think about this from your perspective. How will you feel if your partner calls you up and asks you what you did today, and all you did was sit on the couch and watch daytime talk shows? You will feel lousy, you'll be angry, and you will either have to come clean, which will make you feel like a dope, right? Or you will have to lie to your partner, which you probably won't do. I won't do that, at least. And so every day your partner is going to ask you about your project. The only way for you to feel good on the phone call is to actually do the work, so you have something good to report. Now that's a powerful motivator. Now there's a tip which I want to give you guys. Choose an accountability partner who has similar goals. That means if you're starting now an online business path, your best bet is to find someone else who's starting their online business too at the same time. But then again, it's totally under your discretion. You need to exercise your descriptive powers, because it might be someone else who is already successful a bit, and you can make them the accountability partner for a reason, for a good reason, of course, because they might be just a little ahead of you. That means that what you have achieved now, they might have achieved the same thing like 6 months ago, and they are in the next level at this point of time. So when they are your accountability partner, they probably know that what exactly you're supposed to do and how much time it's supposed to take for you to do something. Rather than if you have someone who is exactly in the same place where you are, that's a good thing anyways, because it'll be more of a brainstorming session with him or her when you're actually discussing, or when you're actually asking him or her the same question when they're doing the same thing. When you ask them that what's up with their ebook which they're writing, they might just answer, and then they might just answer the same question. But since you both are on the same level, you both don't really have a clue that how much time it is actually gonna take, or how much time it's supposed to take to write an ebook of that kind. But if there is someone who's already done that, done the same thing like 6 months ago or like 1 year ago, then know that writing an ebook on that particular topic is not it's not supposed to take more than 15 days. So if like it's only 15 days, and if you have done like 50 or 60% of the book, then they will be able to actually tell you that you're going good, and they would appreciate that if they want to put it, if they really are a good friend of yours. So they will tell you that 15 days is a great thing, but you need to be a little more fast, or maybe you just need to put some more effort on this to get this thing done in the next 5 or 7 days, because it's not supposed to take like more than 15 days. But since it's taken that long, it's okay, because maybe you can use this experience in the next time when you write the next book, and that's gonna just make the whole thing a little more faster. But that's what an accountability partner is. So you need to choose the accountability partner very carefully and tactfully, because choosing a wrong accountability partner can lead to many problems, and the problems are nothing but some personal problems. It'll be like you who will be bogged down if you don't have a good accountability partner, right? If you don't choose a good accountability partner, the accountability partner, you think your friend, you might be thinking that he's your friend, but they just might be someone who's a little jealous of you anyways, and they might just show you the wrong path. So you need to be really careful, and obviously I or anyone else cannot really help you choose a good accountability partner, because that's something which only you can do it. Thank you very much. We'll move to the next video, and we'll learn something real good in the last one, and I'm sure you will get like way more than what expected from this whole series. Thank you once again.
Welcome to the module 10 and the last module of this video series. Now we're going to talk about the taste. Now yes, you got the taste, but you are afraid to eat. Now you might not really understand what exactly I mean by that, so let me explain. See, who can relate to it better than myself? I was doing a full-time job and was earning good money. The kind of money that gets you an apartment and a nice small car and cash to spend on your family. But I was working for someone else. I made a couple $100s a month while I was still working full-time, and then I geared up and started seeing my income in thousands. And note that I'm still working for a company and a stinking boss. Why? Because I was afraid. I was afraid myself to give into the fact that I can actually make more money from home and work for myself. But I was afraid because I was constantly thinking that what will happen if the source of income and my ideas of making money don't last long enough to support me and my family. When you totally believe that you're gonna succeed, you will succeed. Just don't give in to the idea of failure. This is exactly what I thought, what I followed, and I'm here where I am right now. Say if you're earning $100, $100 or $1,000 from 4 to 5 affiliate products, you might think that what will happen when you stop, when the market gets saturated. You might be thinking, how would I earn money? You know what? Stop thinking like a loser even before you start doing things. I don't understand the concept of market getting saturated. What do you mean by market will get saturated? By the time the market will, reach the so-called saturation, you will make enough money to be able to invest and get a brand new product of your own. You'll be able to actually go ahead and get something else done, and that is how a business runs. See, I know there are commitments, right? And this is true for everyone. No one's exception to that. Bills, obligation, family requirements. People, don't take my advice in the wrong way, please, alright? And don't put these things into jeopardy. So all I'm saying is there are people who have seen homelessness and are now ruling the world. And since you're watching this video, I assume that you're not homeless or have no food or are in kind of some extreme situation. But even if you are, you don't have to worry about it, because now you got some real knowledge, right? The motive of creating this video series was to give you the right kind of advice so that you can train your subconscious in order to win over these hidden barriers. The motive of this course is to give you right advice to help you move up, right? I honestly feel that this video series helps you out a bit, and that you're better off than what you were before you started watching this video series that is the first module of the series. I thank you once again for your time and sincerely hope that you will not procrastinate or put things off in the back burner. I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you need to contact me directly, you can just drop a ticket at my support desk. That's anveshrathsupport.com, or you can just add me up over Skype. I'm never too busy for my subscribers and for my friends like you. So go Tiger, get some work done now. Thanks again. Rock it. Bye.